Welcome, everybody, to our podcast. This is We All Don't Wear Capes. I am one of your co-hosts, Chandler Struley, and with me, as always,
I'm Nate.
just Nate. That's it.
Nate Turner.
You're gonna go Nate Turner.
Yep. I'm gonna go like that. Yeah.
Wow. All right. That was so anticlimactic for you. Anyway, we are a comic book podcast. We talk about comic book related things, whether it be movies, books, who knows what else.
Oh, there's also games, different universes, theories. Who knows? Like, we'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out as we go. So to kind of talk about our background and why we want to do this is we both love comic books. We both have a love for different comic books, but comic books nonetheless. I found my love when I was, I don't know, 8, maybe 8. When I was young, my dad took me to a comic book store and I liked Green Lantern. And that's who my favorite hero is, at least in the DC universe. We'll go through and we'll talk about them, but I fell in love with comics through hanging out with my dad and getting comic books every week, or every once in a while when he'd bring them back from work. So that's kind of how I got introduced to the universe. Then I watched movies, and then I got older, and I kind of got more invested. And then I realized there's arcs and all this other crap along with it. So, how did you get involved before we go into who's favorite and who's not? So I don't even know how you got into comic books, to be honest.
So that one's actually a really weird one. My mom used to take me to Fred Meyer all the time, and they had those Sonic Archie comics. And we just buy them randomly. Like, I didn't have any of them in order or anything, just random comics.
So Archie comics got you into comics.
Kind of, yeah. But, I mean, as I grew older, clearly I watched, like, Batman Beyond and the Batman animated series growing up. I fell in love with Batman. It didn't help that my dad used to always run around saying, "I am Batman,"
Probably
to me
not.
all the time.
No, that probably didn't help.
I just loved, like, that whole darkness to it in a way. Darkness.
Okay.
But
some people are into it. I'm not going to knock that.
one of the characters that really interests me in the animated series was Nightwing.
Nightwing.
He wasn't in it that much, but
Well,
I mean, he came in and out after a certain point, and I really fell in love with the character. Like, he was dark. He did all the stuff that Batman did pretty much, but he still was sarcastic as all hell.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
I enjoyed it, and he's actually my favorite hero on DC side.
Okay.
And I would say in general, especially after all the New 52 Grayson stuff.
So, Nightwing. So, tell me a little bit more about, like, is there multiple Nightwings? I always forget. Is there just one? Is it always Dick Grayson, or is it?
If I recall, there was another one briefly in New 52, and that turned into Songbird, if I recall correctly. I don't remember. It was something about the Batman and Robin Eternal, and I didn't really read much of that, sadly.
Not to knock superhero names, but that's a dumb one. Songbird.
Yeah,
Strike the fear into the hearts of your enemies. I am Songbird.
Oh, did you hear Batman's newest sidekick?
Who?
Duke.
No, hey,
That's just his name.
that's not bad. It's like when I think of Duke, I think of like a big German Shepherd or the university.
It's a 15-year-old kid
Well, yeah, obviously.
in yellow.
Of course. 'Cause why not? Anyway, so Nightwing you gravitated towards. I already said I like Green Lantern. I like Green Lantern basically because he controls his own power in a way. Like, his powers can create objects through the power of will, which is cool when he has a ring, which is kind of, it's a weird story how this whole thing came out, but I like Hal Jordan. He's my favorite version of Green Lantern. There's John Stewart, Kyle Rayner, Guy Gardner, Alan Scott, I think is the oldest one. But I like Hal Jordan. He's the most common to me, and you see him in a lot of things. They're kind of doing John Stewart more so nowadays, but here and there, you never hear anything about Kyle Rayner or Guy Gardner for that matter.
I think they don't say anything about Kyle Rayner anymore because he's the White Lantern. So.
Yeah, but even like movies and stuff, you never really saw him, and because he was the weirdest one to me. He's an artist. I did
not know that.
He was an artist, and then Guy Gardner was a football linebacker. Was I think a professional linebacker, which makes sense because of who he is. And then John Stewart and Hal Jordan. But no, Hal Jordan's my favorite. Now here's the tricky part. Who's your favorite Marvel character?
Okay, I'm gonna explain it like this. Nightwing, for me, always kind of looked at like the hope amidst the darkness. He was always kind of the hope, the shining light. Spider-Man, Peter Parker Spider-Man.
Peter Parker Spider-Man. Okay.
Yeah. And if I had to choose a favorite universe, it would probably be Ultimate, especially after the Death of Spider-Man arc.
So not Amazing.
No, not really, because Amazing just gets too random.
Okay,
for me,
understandable.
but-
Anyway, so Spider-Man. Peter Parker Spider-Man in the Ultimate Universe.
I mean, he's literally like Hope consistently. That's what he is. I would say.
okay, I can see it. And he's kind of got that same sarcastic,
Yeah.
witty, young kid trying to be a superhero vibe, which is, I mean, Nightwing's. Now, no one in this universes are exactly like old, but Nightwing's one of the younger characters.
Yeah, he is.
So he's still funny, he still cracks jokes. He's kind of like a Wally West or a Barry Allen kind of person.
Plus he hooked up with Starfire.
Well, yeah. But, that's another story for another day. I think we're actually going to talk about that probably today.
probably.
But, I think, Spider-Man's a good one. I think every kid grew up liking Spider-Man. My favorite Marvel character, I had two. I used to like Captain America a ton. Like the original Captain America, not the Falcon Captain America or all whatever's now. I'd say probably
Hydra, Captain America.
bad guy. My favorite one, probably that I've stuck with, is Nightcrawler from X-Men, which is weird. And I think it's because I liked his powers a lot, and he could teleport, and he could kind of shapeshift and like change his voice.
I did not know he could shapeshift. I knew he could change his voice.
He could shapeshift because of his mom's Mystique,
Oh.
so that's why.
Well, Rogue's mom's Mystique too.
Yeah, not every power gets things. He's blue. He can shapeshift and teleport. All right. That's the thing. And a lot of people give me flack for it, but I like Nightcrawler. He's weird. And he's smart, but also like a child. So he's, we're kind of gravitating towards more sarcastic, funny characters. We're not like obviously you like Batman and you like the more hardened characters, but those aren't as fun to read sometimes. You want to read like the Deadpool comics when you read. And you're like, yes.
Deadpool's just great.
Sarcasm. I love it. So, that's our little bit of background. Now we're going to be honest. We're going to do on our show, we're trying to be as completely down the middle with everything as we can. But to inform you now, we both like DC more.
Yeah, it's really true. Now, Deadpool's an exception, I would say, for both of us.
Yeah.
Because he's just so random, it doesn't matter.
He could be in either and it'd be fine. But I don't know. We're both more DC fans, and that's not to knock Marvel, but I think DC has better arcs and their comics are just more in depth. And they're
Especially more recently.
They're doing more, and they're like doing less plot twists. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Marvel's like, oh, Captain America's in Hydra now, and you're like, why? Why does he have to do that? Like, why is Thor changing so much? Why is there 3 of them? Like, there's too much. And they're trying to do so much, and Marvel's movies.
Oh yeah, we both love the movies way more.
Although I have high hopes for Wonder Woman. I think Wonder Woman could do really well for DC.
I'm gonna wait to see it.
Well, yeah, obviously.
That's how I'm gonna go about it.
With every DC movie, you gotta go, we're gonna wait. We're gonna see what happens. We're gonna go with it.
I tried having high hopes for Suicide Squad, and
this is not all the topic of the show. You didn't like Suicide Squad?
no.
Why?
I'm a huge Batman fan. Clearly, right?
As you will learn with our episodes as we go
The
along.
Joker, just as soon as he was announced, pissed me off.
Now, do you not like the Joker because of the Joker they portrayed, or do you not like Jared Leto as the Joker?
Both.
Why?
So for me, the Joker is supposed to be this character. He's supposed to be nicely dressed. He's supposed to be kind of like just. He's supposed to be. I don't even know how to describe it other than just dark. He's supposed to, but he just laughs at the darkness in a way.
Yeah, I understand that, but you can't say he's nicely dressed and represents the dark. So you like Heath Ledger's Joker.
Oh God, yeah.
Okay, didn't dress nice. He pseudo dressed nice. He was the more villainistic, the kind of the over the top crazy. You're like, this guy's a smart crazy. Jared Leto was the gangster Joker.
Yeah.
He was dark, but he's also kind of had power.
He was the
behind him,
gigolo Joker. Got it.
which was awesome.
I didn't like that. But there was also a lot of just this plot in Suicide Squad that I just didn't like. But specifically for me, for the Joker end of things, I grew up with Mark Hamill as my Joker.
Of course.
That Joker, it will always be the Joker to me.
Right. Understandable.
Like, I'm waiting for the moment in Star Wars that he pops that voice on accident.
We'll see where that thought goes. But it's hard. It's hard with movies to go. It's like with any movie. Like, you're a huge Harry Potter fan. And from what I heard from people, if you read the books first and you love the books, the movies are barely the books. They hit the main points.
Yeah, they really do just hit the main point.
But there's details that you miss because you can't fit a 500-page book into a 2-hour movie.
Sure.
I mean, you can try, but you can't do it correctly. Thing with me, like a lot of people didn't like the Green Lantern movie. A lot of people didn't like it. I liked it.
I liked it.
I liked Ryan Reynolds as Green Lantern. I think he did. I think that was in my.
I think there was too much CGI. I think that's really everyone's problem.
If you don't CGI the suit, I think people have a lot less issues with it.
Yeah, I feel like that was the main issue for the whole thing.
You don't CGI the suit, you make it like an actual suit. I mean, they did the good with the villain. They kind of developed Sinestro, who he kind of got the ring. Like, oh, there's gonna be a second one, and now they're like, you know what? Ryan Reynolds is gonna be Deadpool. We're gonna bring in a dude to play Jon Stewart, hopefully for the next Green Lantern movie. But we digress. So, as you know, as our first episode goes, it'll be rough, and our episodes will be rough as they continue. But our first topic is random. Like, there's no. Usually, our topics will probably be more focused about relevance or like something we find interesting. The first episode, this one's going to be about Teen Titans or Titans in general. I mean, we both grew up watching the 2000 series Teen Titans, which we'll talk about. But, you know, that was my first induction in the Teen Titans going into it.
Mine was actually my uncle was a comic book collector, kind of. Like, he would do it on and off when he felt like he had time to do it. Mm-hmm. And I actually saw the Judas Contract, the first comic of that. And I was like, why does this look so old? But
Because
it's old. It's an old comic book. It's a good comic book. But
well, the part to me, and every time I think of like all these movies that are coming out, and we're like, oh yeah, Judas Contract, oh yeah, Secret Wars, oh yeah, it's like, no, those have been around. Like the Secret Wars that came out last year in the comics.
Was it last year? Or was it the year before last?
I think it was last year. Might have been last year. I don't remember. When it came out, everyone's like, oh, Secret Wars. But it's like, that came out a long time ago. This was just here's the pretty version of it because we got better artists.
I will admit, if they just like redid the whole thing for like Nightfall, I would read all of it.
Well, yeah,
Like
okay.
just redid all the art for it.
Yeah, well, we can all hope for things, but sometimes they don't happen. So, first off, we're going to talk about the Judas Contract, I guess. That's probably what the most recent thing of the Teen Titans, other than like Rebirth and New 52 and all that, but Judas Contract. So, I am not an expert on Teen Titans because, well, I'm not the biggest fan of. I mean, I like all the members most of the time, but I don't follow them. And Nate's favorite DC superhero just so happens to be in the Teen Titans. So what is the Judas Contract?
So the Judas Contract is, and I don't really want to spoil it for a lot of people because of several different things, but basically Slade is on a hunt.
Okay, on a hunt. For what?
He's on the hunt for not just Robin, which is Dick Grayson Robin,
Okay.
but he's on the hunt for the Teen Titans. He wants to break them.
Break them. Okay, I know I don't want to give away things, but break them how? Like break them up or just break them into pieces? Or
He wants to basically destroy them from ever pretty much working together again. And realistically, he wants to end Dick Grayson's life.
Okay, valid.
He has a lot of good reasons for it. I mean,
Valid. Good reasons. I don't know how you have good reason to kill someone.
he plays blame on Dick, so.
Well, yeah, that he's Slade. He's not the nicest of people.
And actually, I think that whole storyline is what really motivated the Slade from the animated series. I'm not 100% sure because, like, you don't know who Slade is. You just know he's Slade.
He's Slade. Or what about? Okay, so kind of all Slade and Robin and that whole Teen Titans thing. Now, there's a member in the Teen Titans that kind of has a huge role in it. How does Tara fit into the whole Judas Contract?
So Tara works with Slade. She's basically her. I don't know. She is basically his. How do I put it? Spy is the best way I'm going to put it.
Okay.
And she consistently reports back to Slade. Even messes things up for the Titans here and there without them really knowing. But in the end, she kind of has a change of heart because she really found true friends. And that sounds really cheesy the way I said it. But
so here's my question. So there's a lot we're talking about and a lot we're not talking about. We're skipping through, but I have a question that it fits well. We mentioned the 2000 series and we'll talk about it more in depth. Now, the Tara's in that. Mm-hmm. And the way she goes out seems very Judas Contract-y.
It's not really like that in the comic, but that is probably the best way I think she could have gone out.
because it's like, oh, she's a spy, da da da. And she's trying to fight Robin and like Beast Boy and all that, and all of a sudden it's like, wait, she turns and then she has like her whole like crash everything down, and it was emotional. I
I recently watched the whole series again.
Very sad, very sad.
Yeah, I mean, especially that last episode of Teen Titans where she might or might not be back.
Ooh, so we have the general topic about Jewish Contract. We can't give a whole lot away. It's been around for a while. So if you're interested, go Google it, go watch the animated movie. So the animated movie, you don't like it. Why don't you like it?
Well, I mean,
is it the art style? Is it the story?
I love the art style of the DC animated movies.
Okay.
These are great movies most of the time. This one I would not like. I mean, they do some things well. Like they make jokes about Starfire and Dick's relationship. They have a little banter between Damian Wayne and Dick Grayson.
Okay. But what about it? Is it like
they basically had too many footholds already in like Slade? He has a huge issue in one of the more modern arcs where he joins the League of Assassins, right? Yeah, League of
Assassins. Mm-hmm.
And at some point, Damian is given the honorary title and basically primed to be the leader of League of Assassins.
Mm-hmm.
And Deathstroke was originally going to be primed as that.
Okay.
And that whole thing, if you want to watch that whole thing, it's a really good movie, Son of Batman. Watch that.
Any Batman plug he could put in, he went.
Oh, yeah, I will. But at a certain point, Slade comes back, and he's more after Robin than anything else. He's hired by Brother Blood in this movie, and Brother Blood does have even if you watch the 2000 show, he does have this whole thing about power. He wants to take other people's power and control it, but they do it in a weird way,
as
for me.
Most villains would.
And you even get to see Jericho in this movie.
So
briefly.
So it's not like it's necessarily a bad movie. Just like they kind of bit off more than they could chew.
I feel like it's more of like they just had too much already existing.
Okay.
Within that, and then Slade with Tara, which is so creepy.
Well, yeah, you have to portray relationships like that in a certain way to not make it weird, and
they went the wrong way.
They took it the weird way. Biggest issue for me is that Blue Beetle's in the Teen Titans in this one.
Is that really your biggest issue?
No, it's weird though. When I think of Teen Titans, we'll talk about the Teen Titans from like the animated series because that's what I grew up on. So that's what I think of. And Blue Beetle's a weird character anyway. But I don't know. I don't think the movie was all that bad. I agree that there were some things that they could have fixed and things that they had. But I mean, for a DC animated movie, had great art style. They had a pretty good voice actors, didn't they?
Oh yeah, great voice actors.
So like the movie, like they could have had the potential to make it a great animated movie, but they just kind of took some wrong turns.
Yeah, like for me, right after I saw that whole bit between Slade and Tara, I was just like, I felt awkward for the rest of the movie.
Yeah. So. All right. So that's Jewish Contract. That's probably their most recent movie. Like probably more.
Yeah, it's actually only a few weeks old.
It's their more prominent. Hey, this is the Teen Titans. That's one of the Teen Titans. There's obviously multiple because you know universes and such. So we're gonna talk about the Teen Titans. So who originated it? Who was the OG team?
So the original team, if you've seen the show Young Justice, it's very similar to the first episode of that, where it's Robin, Dick Grayson Robin specifically, Aqualad Garth, not the one that's portrayed in Young Justice, but a different one. Kid Flash, the OG Kid Flash, not the New 52 Kid Flash.
The Wally West Kid Flash.
Well, they're both Wally West.
Okay, we'll talk about the OG kid, the OG Wally West Kid Flash, the one you think of when you think of Kid Flash.
And Donna Troy actually didn't originally found it, but she came in like not long after. Like,
okay. So the Teen Titans that was the original one is not the one that I know.
No, it's not.
I know the Robin, Starfire, Beast Boy, Raven, Cyborg Teen Titans, which I think is a great team.
Oh yeah,
it's a weird team, but a great team. So, I mean, how do you feel about does that? We're going to talk again later about more specific best and worst teams, but I mean, Young Justice was a good show, and I think that team worked. Aren't they coming out with a new season?
Yep.
Soon?
Supposedly summer 2017. But they haven't announced how they're distributing it yet, other than it's going like not on TV. It's going through something probably like CW Seed, where they showed Vixen.
Okay, so it's a direct to consumer
Yeah.
thing, which is, I don't think it's a bad idea. I just think that if you don't have that distributing service, you're missing out, and it sucks.
I don't necessarily think that's true, but I mean, I could see why they're going to lose a lot of money, for sure.
I mean, what do you think? Is it a good idea to go direct to consumer, not direct to distributor, direct to consumer, instead of
Depends on the show,
putting
I'd say.
like if it's Young Justice? Do you think it'd be better to
Yes.
announce it to go, hey, it's going to be released on this day. If you have one of these 3 things, you'll get it day 1, and we have the full season.
Well, I mean, for stuff like Young Justice, I would say yes. It has a huge following. People loved it and hated the fact that it was canceled. And in fact, petitioned so many times, and it finally happened. And then at some point, you pretty much got to say, where are we going to find it on TV? Like, where are we going to put it in for our time slot? And if you don't have a time slot available, better give it just on a day than rather some specific time.
Yeah. All right. I don't know. I always have an issue. Like, if I don't have something, I'm like, I want to watch it, man. Like, put everything on Netflix. Just put everything on Netflix. You'll be fine. Just pay them. It's cool.
I actually thought it might be going to Netflix at one point.
Well, because it's on Netflix right now, isn't it? Young Justice? It's
Yeah.
the whole first 2 seasons? No, there's more.
Recently, they decided the second one.
Okay. But yeah, they have all of that. So we have a lot. Also, to correct you on the original Teen Titans, Speedy was there too.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I don't remember Speedy.
The OG Teen Titans from the 1970s was Kid Flash, Wally West, Dick Grayson, Garth, Wonder Girl, Don Troy, and Speedy, which is Roy Harper Speedy. So the original team was
Interesting.
pretty much the Young Justice team. You weren't wrong, because I'm pretty sure Speedy's in Young Justice, right?
Kind of. Yes. He doesn't join the team.
But he's there.
Yeah.
So you can go creative differences all you want and figure out how things work. But he's there. So Titans. What's the difference between Teen Titans and Titans other than... Just say what you wrote down, because I laugh at it, but you can do what you want.
So the way I wrote it down was led by Nightwing, disco getup and all.
And he was bad.
Yeah. That uniform is one of the things I just utterly hate about the character. But this was also during a time that Dick Grayson Robin was looking out to strike out from Batman, be his own hero.
Okay.
And from my understanding, there were others that were doing that too. I mean, they were just getting older, really, is what I see it as.
For once.
They're no longer kids, and that's what the Teen Titans were. They were kids supervised by the Justice League at some point.
So for once, a show or comic actually has a point where people get older. They're not the same age for the rest of their lives. Well, I mean, kind of. But so is that the only difference? Is that it's led by Nightwing and not Robin?
I mean,
so
they have a lot more rigorous things, and they're not. So like the Teen Titans were under the jurisdiction of the Justice League and whatever laws they had.
Okay.
And often they were like, it seemed like, especially with like Justice League of America existing, it was more focused in America. Titans could go anywhere. They could do anything they wanted, pretty much.
So they were not constrained by the Justice League, which is kind of cool. I like that idea. So now the more modernized arcs, well, roughly modernized, I guess. New 52 was 10 years. Was it 10-year span? I thought.
I have no idea.
I thought New 52 was like 01 to 2012 or something.
I don't think it was 01 because 01 had Flash Rebirth, I believe.
Well, then what was it? What was New 52?
I think it was like 2005 or something.
2005. I know. It's tough. It's one, but it's been around for probably, I'm saying 8 to 10 years.
Okay.
I'd say maybe 8. I don't know. Remember when Rebirth happened, but it was what, 3 years ago, maybe? No,
it was last year.
Last
dude.
year. Oh, because I was like, it happened recently. So yeah, I'd say 8 to 10 years. If it was 05 to 2015, 2016.
Yeah.
So it's been around. New 52 been around forever. So New 52, is it Teen Titans or Titans? Is there a difference?
There is actually a difference. So in the original Titans, basically it was led by Tim Drake this time around, and he took up the mantle Red Robin.
That mantle. Okay.
Yes, like the food chain. No.
Nice. He was a bird. He was a woodpecker.
God damn it.
Continue.
But he was the leader. He made his whole team, and it's more like the OG, or not OG, I should say the 2000s TV show in a way. There was a huge relaunch of it where they changed some characters, actually just ignored, I believe, like 2 whole storylines. And it kind of got into a mess. And then the Titans really didn't exist that much. Like, they were all in their own separate things for the most part, except for Wally West from the Titans.
Okay, well, here's the thing. The whole Flash universe is
So confusing.
is weird because there's the Speed Force, and then there's Flashpoint, and then there's Rebirth, and then there's
Multiple universes.
It all connects in the most convoluted way.
Yeah.
And that's what throws everything off and throws me off every time. I'm like, what? But Flashpoint, yeah, but Flashpoint here happened here, and then that changed to this. Like the butterfly effect. Wally West had to run 10 miles in this universe, and then it caused everything to change in another one. It's just, it's a weird thing. So, New 52 was a huge arc. It's probably one of the most, I mean, it's the one we kind of grew up on.
I would say it's the one that we really, since we're not that old. I mean, me and you are both
21.
So I would say it's the one that we're most familiar with. I mean, me and you both admire Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo for their
Batman work, and more than just their Batman work, but that's the one we know the most is their arts. And we both love Jeff Johns, even though Jeff Johns has been around forever.
Yes, Jeff.
But so we have that. So New 52 relaunch, and then there's Titans Hunt, which is interesting. I think I've read part of Titans Hunt.
Yeah.
I mean, here's the thing. We go to the comic book stop, we always hang out, and there's always like a comic, you're like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, it's number 20, and you're like, I want the first 19 because I want to you want to read it and then catch up.
That's actually how I really got into the whole buy issue one, because I used to just get the graphic novels for a while, and until we came here and found out about the comic shop here, and I think it was Free Comic Book Day actually that we just started.
Yeah, there's a lot. So what was it? Titans Hunt is Dick Grayson, Starfire, Roy Harper, Donna Troy, and Garth, which is Dick Grayson, Starfire, Roy Harper, Speedy.
Garth is not Aqualad this time around though.
He's an Atlantean.
Yeah.
So what's the difference?
He changed his title to Tempest.
Tempest.
Yeah.
Ooh. So edgy.
The Edge Lords have come.
Basically, what's the whole reason behind Hunt? Is it Hunt in the sense of like Judas Contract Hunt, or is it not that?
I would say similar.
Okay.
So there's this character Lilith. She used to be a part of the Teen Titans. She was fairly powerful, I would say. Like, she's psychic. She can manipulate people in however way she pretty much wanted to. And she pretty much just reconnected all these old connections she had. And somehow she had all those memories from those 10 years, for the most part, that they didn't. And those 10 years are when they were the Titans, Teen Titans. They were all off on their own, and they just came back together.
Interesting. So what I'm reading, the notes that we've posted we've going off of is, the series states that all memory of the original Titans was erased by Lilith. And here's the thing. Villains, no matter the era, could have the coolest names or the dumbest names. To protect the team from Mr. Twister. Yes, I'm afraid of Mr. Twister. And it's okay. Listen, there's a lot of things I go, all right, you're just trying to be corny and it's supposed to be like, it's like a...
I'm pretty sure he's Red Tornado's villain, too.
Red Tornado. God, I haven't heard of Red Tornado in 3 years. Since we watched the Young Justice, which is like the last time you ever hear of Red Tornado.
It's really true.
No, like Mr. Twister, There's what is it? The Rogues, the Flash villains. What are they? What are the Rogues? Like Mr. Freeze and those guys. Captain Boomerang. Like
Not
those,
Mr. Freeze.
Not Mr. Freeze.
Captain Cold.
Captain Cold. Oh, okay, the same exact
Boomerang,
thing.
Trickster.
Yeah, those all horrible villain names. Oh, Captain Boomerang. Oh, the Trickster. Like they could be cool in their own right, but they're just like a gang of villains that the Flash just beats up on every once in a while,
Yeah.
just because it's like, oh, we need a constant villain.
I mean, like Batman has the Joker. Flash has and I keep mentioning Batman.
he has the Trickster.
He has the Trickster. Nightwing has the Prankster.
They just get progressively worse, and then like the next one is be like, and Wally West has April Fools. The April
Oh my
Fool.
God. It could actually be a woman that's just going like April Fools.
It could, yeah. It could be. What's her name? I can't think of her name. I'm stupid. The magician girl. Who?
Zatanna?
Zatanna. Could be Zatanna's villain. April Fool. She's magician. She's magic. Whatever. It
Oh
happens.
my God. That'd be great.
It'd be awesome. Put it in the writing. I want to see April Fools.
It could pretty much be the Squirrel Girl or Howard the Duck of the DC universe.
Yeah, man. Don't get me started on Squirrel Girl. She's so popular now. Because she's a squirrel. All the powers of a squirrel. Cool.
I don't know how that beats Thanos, but it did.
Yeah, because that's dumb. So New 52 is that last year Rebirth came out, and Rebirth is the most convoluted story if you want to try and follow it. It's weird. It's all because it's based around what? Flashpoint, right?
Kind of, yeah.
It circles a lot around Kid Flash, and it's this weird. And I mean the Rebirth #1 is like twice the size of any normal comic book, and there's only
Yeah.
one of them, which I get, but
But there's so many things that are connected to it. Like
well, yeah, it's Rebirth.
like Wally West apparently for years was trying to find someone to connect with and pull him out. And he finally found his old wife, and it didn't work. But Barry Allen's the one who actually pulled him
I
out.
was gonna say, yeah, like Barry Allen remembered him, and then it was okay. I'm not gonna. I can spoil it because it's a comic that's been out for a year, and I feel like it's it. Barry Allen was like oh my gosh, and then he goes like, Wally West like dies, pseudo, and then Barry Allen remembers, and there's Wally, and it's Kid Flash, and then this whole thing, but it screwed with some things. Rebirth kind of.
Oh, if you want to see some screwed up things, look at the Flash, Wally West of Two Worlds arc. Oh my God.
Rebirth kind of took everything and went, you know what? Let's just run with it. So Teen Titans, Damian Wayne decides to kidnap Starfire, Raven, Beast Boy, and the New 52 Kid Flash to fight Ra's al Ghul. Ra's al Ghul?
Raish.
That's not his name.
Okay, it depends on who pronounces it, but I mean, like, I feel like every major change in the universe, they're like, it's Ra's al Ghul. Now it's Raish. Ra's, Raish. Ra's, Raish. It's like, choose.
You pick one. You have to pick one and stay with it. You can't. There's no. So they kidnap. How does he kidnap them? It's like a Batman thing where he knows like what's the plan? He has like a little plan that he knows how to kill everyone if he needed to.
It's similar to that.
A contingency.
In fact, when I was actually reading that issue, I laughed really hard, and it took me a while to get over it. But like, you remember the Incredibles?
Yeah.
Remember how Mr. Incredible was kept in that like thing with his hands?
Yeah,
and
by
feet?
Syndrome. Yeah, we all know.
Yeah, like that giant round thing. They're all kept in that.
Okay, well. Apparently. So when it says New 52 Kid Flash, is that Wally West? Is it the Wally West we think of, or is it the other Wally West?
Okay, I'm just going to clear this up now.
There's a black and a white one. Let's be real.
I'm going to start referring to Barry Allen as just Barry Allen. Wally West, the old one, the OG, as the Flash because that's his new name.
Right.
Just the Flash. So there's now two Flashes.
But there's two Kid Flashes.
Well, that's the thing. Like,
And they're both named Wally West.
it depends on who's talking to him. But he says he's the Flash now. It's like,
No, you wear the costume. You wear the Kid Flash costume. You wear the yellow with the red.
he doesn't though. He just wears red.
I thought he did.
It's red with silver.
Weird.
Right?
I haven't read any of the Titans Rebirth stuff, which is bad of me, but again, I don't follow it.
Wally West is what I'm going to refer to as the new Kid Flash, or I'll refer to him as 52 Kid Flash.
So 52 Kid Flash, again, Rebirth took everything and said, screw it, we're going to run with it and just make it confusing because Flash is confusing in general.
Yeah.
So Titans, everyone's back. The gang's back together, including the OG Wally West.
Yeah, Titans, yes.
Titans.
I really have to say this. I like Teen Titans a little bit more just because there was this arc called Robin, Son of Batman for a while. It had its own series and everything. And Robin got this giant Goliath of a bat beast mammoth thing that is like his pet. And it's part of the Teen Titans now. And Robin's just like, I ride this thing. I'll make it bite your head off.
Of course, because why not? 'Cause why wouldn't we do things like that? So
Because Damian Wayne's awesome.
So that's the whole kind of general idea about the comic side of Teen Titans. And there's more. So we found a list from CBR.com, which I don't know exactly what that is titled. I think it's comic book something. And they have a list of the eight best and 7 worst teams of Teen Titans.
Oh, God.
So they said one of the best is Teen Titans Take Two, which is from 1976 to 1978, which consists of Dick Grayson, Wally West, Garth as Aqualad, Donna Troy as Wonder Girl, and Speedy as Roy Harper. Or Roy Harper as Speedy. I'm okay with that. Like the OG team, I'm fine with. Wonder Girl's original Teen Titans, one of the worst, from 1986, which was... Wally West was now the Flash, but slower than usual. Oh my God, they had Hawk.
Hawk and Dove?
From Hawk and Dove, but they just had Hawk.
Oh, what?
Hank Hawk Hall was mourning his brother's death, and Roy Harper hadn't yet told the team that he was Cheshire's baby daddy. Wow, this is a really interesting... So it looked like it was Wally West, Hawk, Wonder Girl, Robin. It doesn't say which Robin, though.
It's probably either Tim Drake or Dick Grayson. New 52 is the first time Damian Wayne was in it.
I'm assuming Dick Grayson.
And Jason Todd was never in it, actually.
Interesting. I wonder why they picked... I guess I don't know why they...
I mean,
don't know.
death of the
Yeah,
family.
the death of the family. Anyway, so that's a weird one. Why Hawk? Oh, they might put him in... Isn't Hawk and Dove in the Judas Contract movie?
No.
They're in something coming up. Or maybe they're in Young Justice, the new season.
Oh, it's they're coming up into the live action show.
That's the one we talked about that. That's Hawk and Dove are weird. It's a weird... That's an interesting team.
Better than Cloak and Dagger.
Yeah. Rebirth New Teen Titans. So the new Rebirth Teen Titans. I mean, I
don't know on that. I like Damian Wayne though.
Damian Wayne, Starfire, Beast Boy, Raven, Wally West 2. So the new one, and Jackson Hyde Aqualad, not Garth.
Yeah.
I don't mind it.
What's really weird is the Aqualad that you see in Young Justice is that model of it pretty much is what the new Aqualad looks like, but it's not the same person,
Weird.
right?
That is so weird. I don't like when they do things like that, but whatever. Another one, worst, Dan Jurgens, Teen Titans, from 96 to 98.
Just no. That doesn't exist.
Who was it?
I read that and I was just like, no.
Argent Risk, Prism, Johto, and later Fringe. Ooh, I don't know any of those people. The Titans leader was Adam. Really?
Yeah.
Titans sponsor Lauren was Lauren's Jupiter. I don't know any of these other than Adam. Who are you people? It was the 90s where they're just like, let's make everything
you
colorful.
know what? Go to Gus's shop and find it.
No, I'm not.
I'll
All right.
buy it for you.
That's it's one of the worst because I don't know anyone. They just said, here's a Teen Titans kind of. There's no new original members.
They're all teens.
They're
They're
all
all
teen-
working together.
They're all teenage superheroes. Oh, there it is. Post Judas Contract New Teen Titans 84 to 87 with the disco
And
get-up,
that's the one that everyone is pretty much familiar with because of the 2000s.
which is Nightwing. Well, except it's Nightwing and not.
I mean,
Robin.
it's basically that team,
Yeah.
just older.
Nightwing, Dick Grayson, Wonder Girl, Starfire, Cyborg, Changeling, the former Beast Boy, Jericho, and Precocious Telekinetic Danny Chase.
I still don't understand Jericho's abilities.
I don't know. We can look it up later and talk about it. I don't mind that team. I like that team. I mean, Cyborg's not there, but you know. Oh, Cyborg is there. Sorry. So that's the one we all know. Granted, it's
Bigger.
Robin. It's Robin and not Nightwing. But yeah, that's the team we all know.
Yeah.
Most people know if they think of Teen Titans.
Minus, I would say, Wonder Girl.
Yeah, Wonder Girl gets replaced by Raven, which is weird. Wonder Girl's been in so many of the older ones. I don't know why they never put her in the animated one.
I think it's because, in general, during that time, Wonder Woman was pretty much a solo act.
Which is interesting. 52's Teen Titans,
Oh, God, no.
which was after the upheavals of Infinite
Okay,
Crisis.
this is something I really have to state. 52 and New 52 are two completely different things, and 52 is just weird.
52 is weird. It's an interesting comic because it leads right into New 52, which is again, it's 52 episodes. They made a comic book for every week of the year leading up to New 52, which is cool. I think it's awesome. I want all of them, but that's again.
You can have them.
In the process, members came and went, including an all-new Hawk and Dove, Zatanna's cousin Zachary Zatara, Plastic Man's son Offspring, Robin's Earth 3 counterpart
Wait,
Talon.
what was Plastic Man's son?
Plastic Man's son Offspring, Robin's Earth 3 counterpart Talon, and his girlfriend Joker's daughter. New Gods Power Boy and Little Barda, and the shrinking molecule, the cooperative speedsters Masi Menos,
Stick together.
Young Frankenstein, Osiris, Riddler's daughter, Red Star, Captain Marvel Jr., Flamebird, formerly known as Batgirl, Hotspot, formerly Jodo, Argent, and Mirage. What? That's so many people.
Right? And that's why I think it's so weird.
And I agree.
It was-
It's such a hodgepodge.
I've read a few of those issues, and it was just so hard to track.
Teen Titans West? Let's go. What is Teen Titans West? It's Batgirl, Lilith, Hawk and Dove, Golden Eagle, and Beast Boy. Who's Golden Eagle? And Batgirl. Hawkman Protege.
I just love Beast Boy's outfit. It's like we could have gone with the Doom Patrol's outfit,
But-
or this whole new thing, but we're going to combine them.
Teen Titans West was an all-star alternative to the East Coast Titans team. Weird. I don't know. I don't mind it. I think it's interesting. I don't know who Golden Eagle is really, but it seems pretty.
Rounded.
Yeah, Hawk and Dove, man, they need to make a comeback soon. Team Titans, not Teen Titans. Team Titans. So this consisted of. This was from 1991 to 94.
Is that Lobo?
Just,
I think that's Lobo.
Just give me a second. I'll tell you who's on this team. Led by more cynical Nightwing. They include Shapeshifter Mirage, Earthmover Terra, Flying Redwing, Vampire Knight Rider, so it's Knight Rider, Energy Projecting Kilowatt, Electronic Presence Prester John, and the Capable-esque Battalion. And wait for it, the Lord Chaos was the son of Donna Troy. So that's who they were fighting. What the heck?
What?
Yeah, I don't know who this is. So yeah, you lose. One of the best Silver Age originals, 1964 to 73, which was
Aqualad, Kid Flash.
was Robin, Kid Flash, Aqualad, Wonder Girl, and Speedy. So Speedy was there. Why did you forget Speedy, the original time?
No idea.
He was one of the, yeah, this
Actually, I do know why.
why?
Because I keep thinking like there was an arc for Speedy that he had a heroin addiction, and then he went away for like 7 years, and no one heard about him until he came back as Arsenal.
Oh yeah, that and he lost an arm. So that well, I agree, that's a good one. One of the worst. So New 52 Teen Titans. So this was Tim Drake Robin, Con-El Superboy, Wonder Girl, Kid Flash, Bart Allen Kid Flash, and they included Solstice, Bunker, and Skitter. Yeah, that's weird. So that's kind of Young Justice-y.
Yeah, I mean, it's really
because they have Superboy,
it's pretty much Young Justice, I would say.
Bart Allen, the Kid Flash that everyone forgot.
Well, a lot of people remember him as Impulse rather than Kid Flash.
Yeah, I still know his costume though. It's right here.
Then there's the Young Justice comic.
Young Justice comic, which was Robin, Tim Drake, Wonder Girl, a speedster, Bart Impulse Allen, Cassie Arrowette or Sissy Arrowette King Jones,
That comic reminds me
and Lagoon Boy and Superboy.
that comic just looks to me like basically let's take Teen Titans and have it done by Archie.
It's 98 to 2003, so it sounds about right. Seems to be fun. It looks cool. I'll read it. Seems like there's a lot going on right now. Like way too much. But hey, the low point, 07 to 08. Wow, relatively new. After Jeff Johns left Teen Titans, so did Starfire, Cyborg, Raven, Beast Boy, and Jericho. Oh, dang. So the roster became Blue Beetle and Supergirl, Ravager and Robin left, Kid Attorney, Aquagirl, Static, and Bombshell. What the heck?
I want Static to come back, just in general.
That was I don't like. That's a weird team. Yeah, I don't know. Static
It doesn't matter if he comes back in Teen Titans. I just want him back.
Teen Titans 3.0, 2003 to 2006, which was the Teen Titans / Young Justice graduation day. Wow. Let's see. We got Robin, Wonder Girl, Kid Flash, formerly Impulse, and Superboy. There's also Beast Boy, Starfire, and Cyborg with Raven and Jericho showing up later on. So yeah, that's more of the ones we know. One of the worst was the Plainclothes Teen Titans.
Oh yeah, it's when they went all like we're regular people, but we still fight crime.
Green Arrow lost his fortune, Wonder Woman gave up her costume and powers, and the Teen Titans gained a couple of new members. So it was... Wow. Yeah, I don't like that. That's weird. The pre-Judas Contract New Teen Titans, 80 to 84, which was... I can just go, it's Starfire, Cyborg, I'm assuming Tim Drake, not Tim Drake.
Dick Grayson.
Dick Grayson. Kid Flash, Beast Boy, Wonder Girl, and Raven. So that's probably the best one. That's got all of them.
And plus Power Girl. Or not Power Girl, Wonder Girl.
Yeah, that's the one I know. Which is one of the ones I know. Which
The
is
weird
awesome.
thing is about that thing though, they don't include any of the more modern things like the Young Justice TV show or the 2000s show.
Yeah, but you can only go so far. Like, I don't know. Because that's...
I mean, they've both had comic series, so.
Yeah, but I think they're focusing on like the ones a lot of people, a wider audience would know, not so much our generation. So that's the best and worst. I don't know. I already said I like the 2000s TV show. It's just the classic five, which is what I grew up on. But I like the idea of adding Speedy and Wonder Girl. Wonder Girl needs to make a comeback. It's weird that she's not. She's in so many, but not in the one we all know. Or even, she's not even in the Young Justice.
Yeah, she is. Season 2.
Wonder Girl is?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. I haven't seen Young Justice in like a year or two. So
At the end of it, after the event with Kid Flash, I'm not going to say what, because that's emotional as all hell.
Yeah.
But she hooks up with Tim Drake.
Nice. Of course.
I keep saying hook up, don't I?
Yeah. So we have some time, not a lot, but just to mention a couple of TV shows before we get to the end.
Teen Titans Go.
Teen Titans, okay. So the good Teen Titans TV series was 2000s. Trouble in Tokyo came out after the initial run, served as a series finale. Wait, Trouble in Tokyo came out after the initial run, served as a series finale. That was the last episode.
It was a movie, but yeah.
Oh, okay, I remember that. Fun fact, only 4 seasons were initially planned and actually due to popularity brought a 5th. Righteous. Another fun fact, the character Red X identity was never investigated, but many assumed it was Jason Todd, and the series creators have never answered that question.
But there was a whole little bit that they did during the DC block for a while when there was like Beware the Batman and the Green Lantern animated show that was like 3 minutes of them just consistently unmasking Red Mask, and then he gets away, and then Beast Boy yells, "I told you were Jason Todd."
Yeah. I think everyone assumed because,
Yeah, I mean,
why not? Also, each season centered on one character except Starfire. Terra got a whole season instead, and the movie centered on Starfire. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize that it was centered around one character.
yeah, I mean, it's fairly clear when you watch each season, it's like together. Now, if you're watching them week to week, maybe not.
Yeah, but if you watch like whole seasons, you're like, okay, this was Robins, this was Cyborgs,
Yeah.
this was Beast Boys. Interesting.
I mean, Ravens was probably the clearest.
Because it started off with her getting like those tattoos and stuff, and then throughout,
that whole series, that whole season. The one that most people know the newer one, Young Justice, was awesome, and I want 5 more seasons. It only ran for a year. Season 1 was in 2012 and season 2 was in 2013.
I think it might have ended in 2014 though.
Maybe. But there's rumor has it, like we said, that there's coming out for a new season summer, maybe, hopefully.
It's confirmed coming out this year, but I don't know when.
Sooner than later, hopefully. It was awesome. Great. First fun fact, the first episode, technically first 2 episodes, premiered on the 4th of July and was called Independence Day. Well done. Well done, that team.
And just Teen Titans Go, just no. Just
Teen Titans Go 2013 is still going. I don't like it at all. It's the original cast from Teen Titans, but in a weird art style, and I don't like it's
not even action. It's just like slapstick comedy.
It's made for kids. It's made for kids now.
I know, but like my cousins that are like 5 and 6 don't like the show. But I know like 20-year-olds that love it, and they're like, it's better than the old show. I'm like, what?
No,
what's wrong with it?
You are a liar if you think it's better than the 2001. 2001 was like probably way too mature for us, but we still watched it. We all remember watching Samurai Jack, even though that was probably the worst idea.
I love that show. New season's great.
Yeah, but we're derailing, but still. Like,
Sorry.
we should have never watched the show, but if you stayed up past 11 o'clock on a Thursday, well, Cartoon Network didn't care. Whatever, if your parents went to bed. I'm just saying.
What time did Teen Titans come on? I mean, I don't think it was like 11.
No, I'm saying Samurai Jack.
Oh.
Teen Titans was like
Samurai Jack's not that bad, except for the new season.
The old, but yeah, okay. When you're 10, the old one was pretty. The new season isn't bad. I like it. The Teen Titans was probably a 5 or 6 o'clock show.
I'd probably say something. It was like around the same time Justice League would go on.
When you're home from school and you're doing whatever, that's when
I feel like it was more like, hey, you're sitting down with your family and your parents probably know these comics or heroes. They'd probably like it too.
Maybe. Not me.
I watched it with my parents
when
I was younger. So,
DC Animated Movie Universe. Wow, that's a lot. That's a lot. Okay, so
you want me to just do it?
I got it. So Teen Titans first appeared in Justice League versus Teen Titans, which is weird. Which is the first appearance of the team in the DC Universe animated original movies line. The lineup for this version includes Damian Wayne, Starfire, Raven, Blue Beetle as Jaime Reyes, Jaime Reyes, and Beast Boy. Cyborg is a part of Teen Titans in this continuity, but still hangs out with them on occasion. And Terra is seen heading towards Teen Titan Tower mid-credit scene, and sequel followed Teen Titans: The Judas Contract. So
we already talked a good deal about the Judas Contract. It's an okay movie. If you want to go watch it, go for it.
DC animated is better than their live action, which is
sad. It is sad.
All right, so we're not going to. What do we have on here? Okay, so we do kind of mention it, the Flareverse. The Flash Arrow series isn't bad. I just listen. If you're gonna, and what I hate about like Warner Brothers and DC or CW is the Justice League movies aren't gonna have the same actor from the Flash, which is dumb. So dumb. But they wanted rights and they didn't get rights, and now they're gonna have 2 Flashes, which is stupid. Maybe they'll just do Rebirth.
Hey, who knows? Maybe there'll be a special Flash episode where that Flash comes in.
Doubt it. I highly doubt it. But their animated movie universe is awesome. They're DC in general, but Teen Titans has been good. You know, I don't expect a ton of new episodes, like more movies to come out, but I don't know all the arcs. But I feel like their arcs aren't ginormous. They're part of DC, but they don't have like a major story other than Judas Contract.
Most of their stories are pretty much spin-offs of the other ones. Like, because each of these characters either had their own story or have some connection to the Justice League. Like Nightwing's connected to Batman, clearly. There was a whole thing at the time with Tim Drake during the death of the family where Joker came back with that whole messed up face and everything.
Yeah.
And it had its own like arc for connecting to death of the family. But
things got complicated and weird. So there's a lot, but there's not a whole ton to go with Teen Titans. I'd like to see them, revamp them. Not revamp them, but add more to it in Rebirth. I think that'd be cool.
Yeah, I mean,
Rebirth is still going on. It's new, and there's like,
Rebirth is so confusing.
yeah, it really is. We can't do it justice. You really need to go out and read it and research your stuff for Rebirth because it's more than just the.
And
one
I would
issue.
suggest read what you want to read. Don't read everything because otherwise you're just going to get lost like I keep doing.
Just pick a superhero and read that Rebirth. I got Green Lantern.
Like, just read the regular Rebirth. That's one issue. It will maybe take you a half hour if you're loving the pictures.
Yeah, just read and then you can get a gist and then go to whatever.
Yeah.
And pick that one. It's weird. Live action Teen Titans.
I am so excited for this.
So if anyone doesn't know, originally it was going to be a live action movie for TNT. They announced that in September 2014 they might have done it, but by December, the pilot written by Akiva Goldsman and Mark Hames had been ordered that would feature Dick Grayson emerging from Batman's shadow to become Nightwing, the leader of a band of heroes including Starfire, Raven, Oracle, and Hawk and Dove. Weird team.
I just love how they're skipping a whole thing though and just going straight to Oracle.
Oracle and Hawk and Dove. Well, there's already Oracle. Oracle's already in a thing. Isn't Oracle in the Flareverse?
No, they make a joke about it. She's called Overwatch. Felicity's called Overwatch.
Oh gosh, isn't she supposed to be Oracle?
Pretty much.
Yeah, they don't. Okay.
I mean, Chloe from Smallville was Oracle.
Yeah. Oh, Smallville. Well,
That just. I've also been watching that recently.
Throwing it way back. In May 2015, TNT president Kevin Riley said that they had hoped to have the casting locked down by the summer, and that show would be very true to the comics and groundbreaking. In February 2016, Jeff Johns stated, "We at DC have known about TNT nixing Titans for months and months and months. That's not new to us. We have plans for Titans. It's a huge piece of DC, and we have plans."
I love this because this happened like just before my birthday that they announced that it was coming back. It was going to be a direct-to-consumer thing. I don't know what it's going to be on. Who knows? Maybe it'll be just on CW, CWC, whatever. I assume.
I would imagine.
But
in April 2017, Warner Bros. Announced that Titans would debut in 2018 on DC's own direct-to-consumer digital service. The series is going to be developed by Akiva Goldsman, Jeff Johns, Greg Berlanti, and Sarah Schechter, with Goldsman, Johns, and Berlanti writing the pilot episode.
And just a little fun fact on this. The upcoming Nightwing movie will not be connected to this at all. But I think we're all pretty excited for it because it's done by the Lego Batman people.
Lego Batman was such a good movie. Such a good movie.
It was so funny.
So they're going to stick, from my cast, it's Titans will follow Dick Grayson as he leads Starfire, Raven, Beast Boy, and others. So it could be like the 2000 series, which I'm excited for.
Live action.
But live action.
I just hope it doesn't become a whole like drama that is Arrow and
Flash.
Like I do like the Flash and I do like Arrow to a degree. Arrow I have issues with, but
don't have a crossover. Don't do it.
You know there's going to be something like that, like with Supergirl.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Stay away. Have your own universe.
Don't touch it.
Just do your own thing. You can put on CW11. Don't have the same universe. Don't do it. Just stop. It really does bother me when they have crossovers with like go Flash, like Flash and Arrow first one, and now it's like they're basically together now, and you're like, come on, man.
I don't know why they need to cross over Legends too. Either.
Yeah, well, there's issues with everything. So that's the general talk. That's a lot of Titans.
Oh, that's a lot. Yeah.
There's more, and we have more coming. What did we say? So at the end of every show, we're gonna give our recommendations just for comic books in general, and the comic of the week that we feel you should go out and buy and purchase and read and enjoy. What is next week? What do we decide? Spider-Man?
Injustice.
Injustice, because that game's coming out next week.
Yes,
this is
Tuesday. Injustice 2 comes out, and it's going to be $60. Or right now, I actually got this last night, update on my phone because I pre-registered for the app. That game is available to download on Android and I believe Apple devices right now. And it actually does have the game story, like unlike the last app. Like,
Interesting.
you can actually watch the cutscenes and everything as you progress through the game.
Huh.
And that's completely free. So
go out and maybe purchase it. We can't really technically tell you to go out and do it. We can just give recommendations of what we like. And Injustice 1 was a great game, and I think Injustice 2 will follow suit. Who knows?
I mean, I'm terrible at fighting games, but I still had a lot of fun.
But we'll go forth with that next week. So this week, our recommendations for comic books. Nate, you go first.
So my recommendation is Titans Hunt. Even if you don't know the Titans, even if you don't know all the heroes and stuff from New 52, this was a great series. And it's one graphic novel you can buy right now. And I recommend it because it leads directly into Rebirth and starts kicking everything off.
And then what is your second one that has, to be honest, nothing to do with anything?
Yeah, it has nothing to do with anything, but I love this. It's a one-shot issue. It's about probably 30, 40 pages at most.
It's a sizable comic.
It was from the New 52 Justice League Gods and Men during the Darkseid War, and it's the Flash, where the Flash struggles with coming to grips with the fact that he has become death itself.
Which is awesome. And the cover art is amazing, and the Flash as Death looks so cool.
It's such an emotional comic. I recommend it to anyone, even if you don't read comics.
Yeah, go for it. My two, a little bit newer. I would say my first one is Justice League Rebirth. I think the Justice League Rebirth is an interesting story, and it's weird. Like, I mean, it's Rebirth, so everything's crazy, but they're like trying to fight off this huge alien force, and they just keep coming, and it's this weird story, and like Superman's not Superman, and it's crazy. And I think it's worth the read to start up. And they're only 20 issues in, so it's not like you can't catch up if you take your time.
That and I believe just Rebirth by itself, like the initial Rebirth, it just one issue, like 60 pages, something like that.
It's pretty big.
$3, I know that much.
It's not bad. It's not bad. And then my other one, random, is called Bloodlines, and I haven't kept up with it. I got the first 5 or 6 issues.
I'm still confused on what it's.
It's like, to me, how I explained it was, it's kind of like the movie Chronicle, where they kind of explore, and they're given powers, and they didn't choose them. Like, these are like Green Lantern-esque, but they're like given powers, and then all of a sudden they wake up and they like one day they like find out they have powers, and they're all different. Like, the powers are vastly different from each other, and they have to like band together. And then there's this evil little girl who like knows how to control her powers, and she's like, completely off topic. You've played Smite.
Yes.
Okay, you know the girl with the dogs?
Yeah.
Kind of like that. Like, she has like, I swear she uses something similar to that, but they're
I'm
like,
pretty sure that's Medusa and it's snakes until I have a skin for it, I believe.
it's not Medusa.
It isn't?
Definitely not Medusa. It's a girl with the dogs that are like controlling her. Anyway,
yeah,
that's
okay.
a whole thing. But go read it, Bloodlines. It's an interesting story. It's not connected to like the DC universe. It's just a DC comic, but it's good.
Now, my question for you,
Yeah.
what would you recommend for this week that just came out?
So mine actually fits with it, and it's Titans number 11, which is the beginning to the Lazarus contract. And it has a...
You sound excited for this.
I mean, it's cool, and it's part 1. So it's Lazarus contract part 1. It talks a lot about Actually, maybe Deathstroke. It has something to do with Deathstroke. I always think Slade and Deathstroke are the same person.
They are.
Yeah, well, you call them different things, and people don't think that. But to me, they are. And
Slade Wilson is Deathstroke. Okay.
Yeah. So he's kind of involved that, and he wants to like, I think it's another one where he like tries to kill Robin, and there's this whole thing. But it's an interesting comic. It follows suit with Rebirth, so go out and try it. See what you like. If you like Titans, what's yours?
just what's yours?
Yeah.
So mine completely not even in the same comic publishing company. Avengers number 7.
Ooh.
So if you don't know right now, Tony Stark is gone. We don't know exactly if he's dead or alive, considering it's Marvel and everything dies and comes back to life in some way. Well, right now there's 2 different Iron Men out there at least. There's Ironheart, but this one, the infamous Iron Man, is actually Victor Von Doom, Dr. Doom.
Nice.
With the whole cape and everything, and
But it's Iron Man.
Yeah, he's trying to be good, and he's in a full Iron Man suit and everything, and
That's what you're gonna
he's
get at Marvel.
forcing the Avengers to join him.
See, that's what you're gonna get at Marvel. Weird things. Weird.
I think it sounds cool. I'm optimistic. Like, I want to see where this ends before I make a full judgment on it.
Yeah, I don't know, man. That's an interesting. Victor Von Doom as Iron Man is such a weird story to me. And I mean, listen, I'm going to be honest. I don't read a ton of Marvel comics. Why? Also because they're like $1 more expensive than DC comics, or sometimes 2 or 3.
Yeah, it just
Depends on the one you get.
especially more recently with all the digital copy stuff that they keep throwing in there.
Man,
It's
it's
just-
so much and so
I don't
not.
even use the digital copies.
Yeah, it's dumb. Anyway, that's for another argument. For we should have an episode where it's DC versus Marvel. That'd be fun. That's not biased. But no, that's it. That's episode 1 in the books.
And if you enjoy this, we're putting this on YouTube and stuff, so share with your friends.
Yeah. So we have a tweeter. It is WADWC. We all don't wear capes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cast. Those are all capitals cast. And you can find us where our logo is a green man and a red man, the bathroom signs. You'll see it. It's pretty simple. We'll post our link to our YouTube on that, and we'll post everything, and we'll be fine. And we'll get everything figured out. You'll find it.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
And if your friends or family, hi.
Hi. And that's it. Do you have anything left to say before we get out of here?
If you haven't seen Teen Titans, like the 2000 TV show, it's actually really cheap to buy all the seasons on Amazon. I highly recommend it.
I recommend it too. My last thing is don't do drugs. And that's it. See ya.